Welcome to the Inspiring Kosa TV. And today I'm going to interview Lance. Welcome, Lance.
Thank you, Aurelia. Thank you.
So Lance is the author of two wonderful best-selling books about Antarctica, big books and very interesting. So Lance, can we tell about the books and why you wrote the books and why did you go to Antarctica in the first place?
Oh, right, okay. I wrote the books because I want to record the history of the 1980s, late 1970s. It has been recorded, so it's done now in these two books. The Australian National Library said that this is exactly what they wanted for their library. The reason for going, well, I was adventurous. I went to Darwin after Tracy destroyed the city. On the way back, after 18 months, I called into Cairns and saw an ad in the paper for Antarctica. And I thought, well, I've done Darwin, so let's go down south to the opposite end.
Right.
And it was an adventure, an unknown adventure. I had no idea what it was like down there.
Right. So, what inspired you to write your book? So, this one's the first book, as far as I know, My Adventurous Times in Antarctica. So, what inspired you to write this book in the first place? Like, why you decided to do it?
Well, the first book is my memoirs, and that was for myself. But I passed it on to a copy to each of the expeditions I went with in Macquarie Island and Casey Station, Antarctica. I wanted to get all their stories, so I wanted them to see that I could write a book to encourage them to send their stories to me to write the second book.
Right. And what I like so good about these stories, what do they teach the readers?
Lifestyle in hostile environments.
Right.
Survivalism, supporting each other, changing ourselves to be tolerant, empathic.
Right. So there are lots of lessons in these books for people to learn from your experiences in Antarctica.
Yes.
So they actually can learn and use the lessons in their normal life, our challenging life.
That's right, exactly. When I came back, I was changed. I saw the what was life like in the raw environment. I came back here and I picked up that the stress levels were here very, very high. And 2 weeks later, I was up there as well, so I didn't notice it after 2 weeks. The natural environment's very much what we're attuned to. This makes our life more tolerable, I suppose.
So Lance, what is your most vivid memory in Antarctica, which you still remember and use it as a lesson?
Yes, we lost a biologist. He was studying birds on Macquarie Island and was holding onto a rope instead of having it tied to him, and he slipped and fell quite a few metres down on the rocks below. The whole station went out searching for him because he didn't turn up for lunch. We found him fairly beaten up. Then we carried him back around North Head, around past the surf, up the hill down to the station. The whole station then orientated themselves to this new dilemma. Many of us nursed him, did other people's jobs, worked in the kitchen until the HMS Hobart arrived. The Neladan also arrived as well, the icebreaker. The Neladan transferred the helicopter to the station, picked up Roger, the biologist, flew him over to the HMS Hobart, which was a very fast ship, took him back to Melbourne. Hobart first, then Melbourne, where he passed on eventually.
Right. So these stories in which book? In the first book or in the second book?
First book.
In the first book, right. And what is the second book is all about? It is like continuation from the first book, or it's different, totally different stories?
It's facts and figures initially in the first section.
Right.
The second section is all about the guys' own stories and experiences down there and what they learnt, and a lot about survivalism as well. Very interesting story about a carpenter rescuing a doctor who fell into the sea ice, through the sea ice into the ocean, and he jumped in and pulled him out. Then they had to trek back to the station under these harsh conditions, freezing cold.
So it is another story you're talking about now?
Yes.
About a doctor?
Yes, a case station.
So different stations.
Different
so
station, yeah.
Initially you were sent to which station?
I was sent to Macquarie Island to Casey Station.
Right.
This
And
story,
then, and these stories were?
These stories are the expeditions I wintered with on both stations. They also wintered on different stations as well, so they have their own special stories on those particular stations.
Right. Okay. So what is the most interesting story in the second station?
Oh, just the guys' experiences. You have to read the book to understand what it's like down there. It's very hard to explain it verbally.
Right.
You have to read the book.
Right. Would you recommend people to go to Antarctica?
I do. It's an experience. You learn to change. You learn to fit in with, say, 27 other people, professionals, scientists, tradesmen, support staff.
So these are recommendations for people to go and work in Antarctica. Would you recommend people to go as a tourist?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, the coastline's just fantastic. You get to get up onto the ice, have champagne, and enjoy the sunset if it's that time of the year. Yeah, I do recommend it. Yeah.
So what is the other interesting points in your book which the listeners can actually learn from our interview?
Oh, what the environment's like down there. Most people don't understand what it's like.
Okay, so can you describe it like in a few seconds?
It can be the most beautiful place on the planet, but then she can turn and be the worst place to be for survival.
You mean because it's cold?
Blizzards, cold, altitude. The ice is nearly 5 kilometres thick in the highest point. So going out on a traverse is very interesting too, because your eyes can't focus on anything outside the caravans because it's all white. But you get used to that, and then you learn to live with 9 other guys on the traverse in very close quarters, and it's life changing.
Right. So experiences in Antarctica changed people, like before before Antarctica and after their experiences in Antarctica, they become different kind of quality of personalities they develop.
Yeah, very much so. Many of the expeditioners come back very humble. They've done it, they've been there, and they don't have to carry on about it. They've done it, and they're just humble.
Why? What makes them so humble? Because they had to go through so many challenging situations that they really think that they have to be humble in life?
Yeah, many challenges. They proved to themselves that they can do it, and they've done it. And many changes in work mode. You could be working in the kitchen, you could be working with the scientists, you could be doing scientific research under horrendous conditions. Like going out on the traverse, it's quite amazing. The blizzards, digging the tractor trains out of the snow each morning. And it's very trying, very challenging, and it's quite rewarding once you come back that you've done it.
So it's basically all about explorations, the world, so people learn about how to explore different environments and how to survive in different life situations.
Yes, that's right. Taking on different work
Yeah,
in
that's
different
right.
areas.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, okay, these wonderful books. And where do people can buy these wonderful books?
Well, you can buy it online, www.olsen.com.
Okay, so both books they can buy on this website.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Lance. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope everybody learn a few things about Antarctica, and I hope you purchase these books and read about Antarctica and Lance's experiences in Antarctica.
Yeah.